Let's go down your starting grid for these heat races. For heat race number 1, on the left hand side of your screen, Stilian Chipolevsky going to be on pole with Josh Fox, Connor Parisi, Bastian Ramiz, and Daniel Finalisa rounding out the field here in heat race number 1. That'll put the other few drivers in heat race number 2. We will not have a last chance qualifier or a B main this evening. Thank you once again for joining us here on Racespot TV, streaming live on Iracing Live. As we get ready to go racing here in heat race number 1. See, there's 3 Fusion teammates here in this heat race. Reds begin to come up. And we are green for heat race number 1 for Friday Night Dirt Night. Stilian Chipolevsky gets a good jump. Josh Fox and Connor Parisi, the 2 Fusion teammates, they'll be wheel to wheel in towards corners number 1 and 2 for the first time through that 180-degree right-hander. All 5 cars will make it through. Now, who's going to joker early here? Connor Parisi is going to be held up by a teammate. He will not be able to joker on the first lap. Stilian, and basically the entire rest of the grid, takes the joker this first lap. So Stilian Chipolevsky, Josh Fox, Bastian Ramiz, and Daniel Finalisa, all 4 of those drivers joker on lap number 1. Connor Parisi does not, so look for him to potentially make out spots as Finalisa. He's off in the infield here, and he's got damage on that lime green Ford Fiesta. Let's see what happened to him. See him here as he exits the joker, gets a big bite of oversteer, probably yoinking that handbrake, just tries to come through, and well, doesn't even get it anywhere near right, just basically center punches that tire bollard. That's not good for the alignment there. He's going to have to start from the tail end of the feature race when we get there. Now Connor Parisi's going to joker. Is he going to come out third? I think he pushed a little bit too hard there. That cost him a lot of speed. Can he get a run here, though? Going to be fighting with Bastian Ramiz down this straightaway. Going to be able to be clear, though, as Connor's going to now cycle into third here in heat race number 1. So through the first corners, once again, working lap number 3 of 5 in the first heat race. And down now towards that joker lap, Stilian Chipolevsky. Everyone, of course, they've already used their jokers here early. A little surprised to see a couple of those guys so deep down on the field kind of pop their joker cherry that early in this heat race. No real point in doing so, because all it doesn't really give you any advantage if you all joker at the same time. You typically want to use that joker to get yourself an advantage a little bit later on in the run. I think Connor Parisi potentially could have had an advantage, just unfortunately doesn't quite have the pace as they come away now to take 2 to go. So through that first corner, they're going to come past that sector. Again, joker lap going off to the left. Bastian Ramiz still trying to chase down the Vision teammates, but nothing really going just yet as you see everyone up and over the jump now into this tight sector here at the end of the lap. Also see Daniel Finalisa is technically on the circuit still. He has not called it quits, but he's 24 seconds off your race lead. So they cycle through, white flag waving at the timing gantry. It's about 0.6 of a second the gap between Stilian. Actually, take that back. It's out to a full second between Stilian Chipolevsky and Josh Fox. Then another full second between Josh Fox and Connor Parisi, and then Bastian Ramiz a further 2 seconds back. So nothing really tightly contested here in heat race number 1. And they're going to continue to cycle on through the final corner. Stilian Chipolevsky just going to look keen on trying to be nice, calm, cool, and collected. Through this final right-hander, maybe a little bit wide there for a moment, but apexes that tire baller nicely. And with that, Stilian's going to come off that final corner, and he's going to win heat race number 1 with Josh Fox in second, Connor Parisi in third, Bastian Ramiz fourth, and Daniel Finalisa rounding out the 5 cars in heat race number 1. Let's see where Daniel cycles through. He's still technically out there on the racetrack, and more issues for Daniel. He's really struggling in that lime green and blue machine. That's pretty much going to be the end of his race. He's going to get a slowdown for cutting the track like this as well. I think he's just going to park it, and we're going to get ready for heat race number 2 in just a moment. You see Stilian Chipolevsky cycle through. Not really sure what Daniel's actually doing there. Now he's going to come through to take the checkered flag. Quick, short little stretch. Seems like he has a bit of damage on that machine after that hit, which does not surprise me one bit. But as he crosses the line, that's going to bring heat race number 1 to an end. So let's go down heat race number 2 here. Starting grid on the left-hand side of your screen now. Johan Hart on pole with Bobby Zielinski second, Bobby Sand Jr. in third, and Matt Hartley round out your 4-car heat race. Get no last chance qualifiers. All drivers are now on the grid. And we are green for heat race number 2 of 2. And this time it's 2 Ford Fiesta that's going to lead the way here down in towards 2-1 Johan Hart. Bobby Zielinski, they're going to be wheel to wheel through the first corner. You see Johan pick up that right rear inside tire. Let's see who's going to joker here on this opening lap. Johan's going to go for it. Bobby Zielinski, I think this is a smart move. He's going to take the regular lap here. Up and over the jump, a little bit of an awkward landing here as Johan and I believe that's Bobby Sand Jr. Yes, it is. Those two drivers, they're going to cycle out first and second. Bobby Zielinski into third, and Matt Hartley, he's going to ring up the tail end of the field in fourth. To come to the end right now of lap number 1, Bobby Zielinski's going to have some work to do. Let's ride on board with him just a little bit and see what he's going to actually end up doing here. Do you see down in towards that first corner? Through this tight right-hander. Quick left, quick right. Is he going to joker here early? No, he's not. He's going to stay on the racetrack, and I like this. This gives him the ability to potentially reel in Bobby Sand Jr., who's running in that second spot, close to the back of Johan Hart right now. We're going to check in with this fight, the fight for the race lead. Team Fusion versus Team Race Clutch. You see both of those drivers very close to those tire ballers, getting it as straight as they can. But Johan Hart's kind of just on another level right now as he runs away from that number 9 car, Bobby Sand Jr. Oh, it appears Bobby Zielinski may have had some trouble, or did Matt Hartley may have jokered. Yes, Matt jokered that last lap trip through, so Bobby Zielinski drops another spot, and Bobby's going to joker right here, right now. So let's see where he comes out. I was going to switch the camera. We're going to stay on board as they transition now back to the regular racetrack. Will Bobby be able to pick up a place? That's Johan Hart you see out in front of him, and there's Bobby Sant Jr. A little bit of contact between the two of them, and I think Sant may have just kissed that little tire baller there on the inside, so close fight between the two of them right now as they head under the timing beam and beginning lap number 4 of 5. So now through that right-hand corner, still not quite able to get it there just yet as Bobby Zielinski. Not much he can really do now. Only one good passing opportunity. I will say Phoenix is pretty racy. Not a great line for Bobby up and over that jump. Bobby Zielinski, that is, but ends up getting it relatively stable. And they're going to now get the final lap. This is going to be the one part of the track where Bobby Zielinski will have an opportunity in towards corner number 1. Is the best passing opportunity on track. Can that orange number 4 slot it down the inside at turn 1? No, he doesn't look close enough. He's going to look up the inside, but nowhere near close enough. Is that number 4 car of Bobby Zielinski? Looks like Bobby Sant Jr. going to be able to hold on to that second spot, while Johan Hart is going to remain out in front here with the rest of the field. Over the jump and through this tight sector for the final time. Long right-hander. Still seeing if there's any mistakes that are going to be coming through, but everyone's looking pretty much picture perfect as Johan Hart is going to come through, and he's going to win the second of 2 heat races here at Phoenix. Bobby Sant Jr. is going to take the second spot with Bobby Zielinski and Matt Hartley rounding out the 4-car field in heat race number 2. And with that, let's go down the starting grid for your feature event already coming at you right here, right now. Quick action here on Friday Night Dirt Night. Stilian Chiplevsky going to be on pole with Johan Hart in second. Josh Fox is in third with Bobby Sant Jr. in fourth. Connor Parisi fifth. Bobby Zielinski in sixth. Bastian Remise in seventh. Matt Hartley in eighth. And Daniel Matrani Fenelisa rounding out this 9-car field. Field is already set. Cars are already on the grid. And we are green. Stilian Chiplevsky leads them down in towards corner number 1. Will they all be clear? See him 3 wide in the middle of the field. Got Bobby Brandt in that little mix-up, but it's going to be Fusion Racing who continues to lead. One of the Fusion cars. Bobby gets a hit. And no, Bobby Zielinski, he's going to be off. The orange punching bag continues. And that's going to basically be day done for Bobby. He'll be able to stay out there. You see the entire field. Joker's on lap number 1 except for one other driver. I can't actually see who that was. It was Bobby Sant Jr., the Fusion Racing cars. The entire grid just Joker. And I want to get a replay of that just to see how impressive that was and how funny that is to see. You don't typically see this many cars taking the Joker lap this early. Let's rewind the cameras back a little bit further. This is riding on board with the driver of Matt Hartley through this first lap. See him go in through corner number 1. And well, because everyone wants to be nice and safe, they like to joke here early. You see him get into line, and then he basically just turns that car to left. And look at all the cars out in front of him. On the one hand, jokering means you're safe, but on the other, it means you cannot use the Joker lap as a tool. at any point. So look potentially for Bobby Sant Jr. Actually, is he already jokered? He may have already done his joker lap here, and he has, and he's jumped a lot of spots. He's up to P number 4 is Bobby Sant Jr., and he's going to be happy with that one. Actually, no, I take that back. He leads here. So Bobby Sant Jr., the last trip around the racetrack, phenomenal joker lap. He cycles into the race lead. What's happened to Stilian Chiplewski? We're going to replay of this. See if there's been any issues from him. Rewind the cameras back about 40 seconds. Oh, I see Johan Hart and him side by side. And no contact there. But is there going to be... Oh, Johan Hart got involved as well. Big contact between him and Johan. I missed this initially. We're going to ride on board with Johan for this one after this replay. And Bobby Sant Jr. has been able to cheekily get himself away into the race lead because of this. So we're going to rewind the cameras back further. Find Johan. See, that's Stilian out there in front of him. This would have been them coming through that final sequence of corners on that lap before they ended up coming out. This would be the end of the first lap. Down now through in towards corner number 1. You see him side by side. Johan so close to that tire bollard on the right. A little bit of contact there indeed. And through this right-hander is where it ends up happening. He gets spun off into the tire bollard. Well, Stilian gets pushed out way out there off to driver's left. So big contact for those two, and that's going to allow Bobby Sant Jr. to go from being the only car to not take a joker lap on the opening lap. And now he leads here with teammate Josh Fox closely hounding him down in that second spot. Connor Pris in third. So despite the early trouble there for Stilian, Fusion Racing still 1-2-3. Daniel Finalisa, after his troubles, runs 4th. Bastian Mies is in 5th, and he's fighting with Matt Hartley and Johan Hart. And actually, Matt Hartley just picked up that 5th spot. So Johan Hart, Bastian Mies has fallen back to 6th, and Johan Hart has fallen back into 7th. Phenomenal last lap for Matt Hartley. He picked up 2 spots that trip around the circuit, and there's 5 laps remaining. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from the 7 of Bastian Mies. Johan Hart is going to try to take advantage side by side through this left-hander before the jump. That's not going to be easy. As Johan Hart, you see him basically fling that car every which direction over the jump. And they're going to be 3 wide for a moment, leaning on each other and now towards this final sector of the racetrack. Still remaining 3 wide as they head now down, heading towards the front straightaway. And it's Matt Hartley, who's going to be able to hold on to that, well driven by all those drivers. Johan Hart, though, definitely the big loser in that little scrap. Let's get a replay on board with that one, right on board with Johan. So just do the first sequence of corners. You see him jump out to the left-hand side, trying to make that move on Bastian and Mies. Through the jump now and walks away. This car's going to flick back to the right with the weight transfer going up and over the jump. And through here, they're just going to be 3 wide. You see 2 cars who's inside there occasionally through the windshield. You see, look exactly how wide he went. Really cost him a lot of time running that much of the racetrack out that wide. Not a lot of speed out there, not a lot of grip. And something has actually happened to Bobby. Bobby Sant Jr.'s run into problems, and he goes from leading to now he's part of this scrap. Johan Hart goes from fighting with those 2 drivers that somehow gotten around him, and now leads this little pack in, I believe this is 4th spot. Connor Pris and Daniel Finalisa still 3rd and 2nd with Josh Fox out in front, coming to 2 laps to go. What happened to Bobby Sant Jr.? And more trouble with him as that's going to be Bastian Mies making a move on the inside. He picks up that spot. And Matt Hartley's going to come, maybe make, a bit of a mistake there from Matt Hartley. And that's going to basically drop him out of this motor race, that mistake. And these drivers are going to cycle on through and continue their fights. What has happened to Bobby Sant Jr.? I want to rewind the cameras back and see. He was in 2nd place right here, so he had some other problem that I missed as well. Just collapsing under the pressure, I think. As you see, that's Josh Fox out in front of him at this point. What ends up happening is a contact between teammates. Oh, he makes a mistake. He just gets into the tire baller. Did it all by himself, did Bobby Sant Jr. But that is going to allow Mr. Josh Fox to hold on here through this final sequence of corners. Up and over the jump for the final time. Stilian Chiplewski is going to check in at least for a bit of a photo op, but he's a full lap behind his teammate through the final long right-hand sector. And Josh Fox is going to take victory here on Dirt Night week number 10 here at Phoenix. What a fantastic drive from Josh Fox. Exciting race with a lot of fireworks in that one. A lot of dramas in the early goings, a lot of dramas late. As he's going to be the driver to bring it home here in that first position. Connor Pris and Daniel Fenelisa, after starting 9th of 9 in this feature, ends up on the podium. I think he's going to be pretty happy about that one. Answer your question, DJF. Yes, this was the top split.